Courtney, it's so nice to meet you, lady. All right, and bear with me here. All right. So I'm Dr. Courtney. I started Gut Health Reset because I wanted to start helping so many more women with their bloat, their diarrhea, their constipation, IBS, energy crashes at 2 p.m. I feel like a lot of us women get left hanging, and I don't want that for you guys anymore. So this webinar is for you. If basically you're feeling like your gut issues and your gut health have started ultimately controlling your life. You are planning your day around bathroom access. You're unbuttoning your jeans after meals because you're so bloated. You lost kind of all confidence when you've gone out to restaurants or to cafes or just out to dinner and or even cooking in your own kitchen anymore because you don't know what is going to make you flare up ultimately, or if you're going to be constipated or in pain, whichever your symptoms might be. But then at the same time, you've also been dismissed by your doctors, told your labs are normal, been told it's all in your head. You've done rounds and rounds of antibiotics for SIBO, and then you think you get a little bit better, and it just comes right on back. You've had your gallbladder removed, and you either were hoping your digestive issues would go away or they started afterwards. And yet we're still miserable and we're kind of left more frustrated and more kind of pissed off because we're not getting the answers we wanted. So that's what this webinar is all about for you ladies. But this webinar is not for you if you are just looking for a quick fix. A lot of the times it took our body weeks, months, years before all these symptoms arrived. We got to give our body a little bit of grace to get out of them too. So if you're looking for that one hack that is going to change your life, this webinar is not going to be for you. I'm showing you three core foundations to put into your life to start creating those long-term results. I don't want temporary fixes for you guys. Like, I want you guys to start thriving. And if you are looking just for some quick labs to be done, get your lab results and run, I'm not a big fan of those either. Only for the main fact is those lab results also don't come with a step-by-step sheet on how to fix your gut. They just kind of sometimes leave you with more questions than answers, which is not the point of those labs. So by the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you three core main foundations to start implementing into your life slowly. I typically say one small habit at a time until they become exactly that, a habit. Make them part of your routine because we all live different lifestyles, different routines, different stresses. So we don't want a lifestyle overhaul. So I want you to choose whichever one you think is most important for you to start right away. And some of these you can even start tonight. So I want you to choose the one that best suits for you, but ultimately all three of these are going to be great for you. But I want you to be able to take these and actually implement them so then that way you can get back to doing get back to your life. Go back to that restaurant. You can look at the menu with more confidence. You're having more energy. You aren't chasing your symptoms anymore, creating temporary fixes. We're actually creating long-term results. So a little bit more about me. I am Dr. Courtney. I went to school at Palmer College of Chiropractic when ultimately a lot of my gut issues started before then, but while I was going to school, I then became a chiropractor and then ultimately ended up focusing in gut health more than anything. I've been in practice for 6 years. I am featured in Stroll magazine. I write monthly articles for them about gut health and tips and tricks that people can add into their life. And I've been featured on Paula Sands Live. And then I'm also the health and wellness expert for the Real Quad City show. I'm also a mom to a beautiful daughter and wife to an amazing husband. But that life wasn't always easy for me when it came to gut health. And that's because I was struggling so hard with it, but I was being dismissed by my doctors. I was told my labs were normal. I was told to just take omeprazole and all of my issues would be solved. But I was frustrated because I'm like, I'm in my early 20s. I should not be able to should not be dealing with this at all. I shouldn't have to be worrying about having a cup of coffee in the morning and then commuting 45 minutes to work or school and having to pack emergency toilet paper or having to know my route and which gas stations I could stop at just in case that coffee hit at the wrong time. I was bloating. Everything I ate felt like I was swallowing a matchstick. It got so bad at one point, my hair was falling out. I was actually even losing weight because my body quit absorbing stuff, quit absorbing nutrients, pretty much everything I was eating, and my joints ached and I had no energy. And I then knew I wanted to help other people with their health, right? I was going to chiropractic school. But as I was learning with my own gut issues, I didn't want other women to be struggling the same way I was, especially when I was being dismissed or being pushed medications I didn't want to take. And so I was doing everything I possibly could to learn more about gut health, to heal my own body. And then once I finally understood what my body truly needed, that was when everything changed for me. And then finally, I felt like I was back in control of my life. I was able to drink coffee again without sprinting to the bathroom. I wasn't worrying about what I was eating, or I had to make emergency stops. My hair started growing back, and I could eat again without it feeling like I was swallowing a matchstick. And I had energy again. I felt good to go back to the gym. But most of all, what I realized what was missing is a lot of the times as women, we get hit with blanket advice, blanket general advice. Take this probiotic, just eat more fiber, cut out those foods. Have you tried cutting out gluten and dairy? We get a lot of blanket advice, but all of us women are different. We all have different guts. We all grew up in different backgrounds, different lifestyles, on different foods. So what works for one woman does not work for the next woman. And that is why you can see your aunt, your sister, your friend have great results and all they did was cut out one food. You tried cutting out that food and you're still struggling or your symptoms got worse. We are all different. So the three pieces that I'm giving you, they are not, there's ways to tailor them to you. They are a little bit more generalized, but they are the basis that you need anyways to heal your gut when you throw in the special things that you need specifically. So this way you can go to the menu and know exactly what you should be eating or at least should be focusing on. You can eat again without the bloat, the diarrhea, the constipation. These are the three biggest mistakes that I see a lot of women make or not even know that they need to focus on. And it doesn't require you to have a lifestyle overhaul in one night. This isn't, you're going to learn this all tonight and you're starting it all tomorrow morning. I do not want that for you guys. I want you to find the one that you're like, you know what? I never tried this. I'm going to do it. And ultimately, I just want you to feel confident again. So, since I have had my gut issues, it's been about 8 years of me being gut issue free. I've now since have helped several women lose inflammation weight, have regular bowel movements. They're now having great labs with their PCPs at annual physicals. They're having more energy and less pain. They can go to a restaurant again and know what they should be eating, should not be eating. And I did all of that without taking an endless amount of supplements. Because I'm sure a lot of you too have been, okay, just try this nutrient, try this nutrient, go get this supplement, go get this supplement. And there's a way to do it without having to buy a whole cabinet supply of supplements. I also did it without having a boring diet or becoming this master chef. I feel like a lot of us women also too sometimes feel like we need to have the perfect recipes and a perfect grocery shopping list in order to be healthy when really we don't. So while I was in school, I was also learning to be a chiropractor, but I dove into everything gut health that they had taught us because I was just doing anything at this point to heal my gut and not even heal. That wasn't even my goal. It was just to feel better. Like I didn't even care. Like I wasn't even thinking long term. I was just thinking temporary. I need to start feeling better. So I was paying attention to anything gut related. deep dived into it, took special extra classes, was going to extra seminars on the weekends or at night or online, just learning as much as I can. But I also, during that, was doing a lot of guessing, piecing a lot of things together, trying this, seeing if it worked, trying that, seeing it work, until I got to that root cause. And I want to take away that guesswork for you ladies. And now I also worked with a lot of doctors who kind of pushed me in the wrong direction and told me there was nothing to be done. It's just how my gut kind of is. And I don't want that for you ladies either. I dove into this to give you the answer once I healed my gut. And now my mission is simple, and it's the whole reason why I started feeling gutsy is I want to give you the tools that you need in your tool belt so you can actually live a gut issue free life in the most simple and supportive way possible. I don't want it to be overcomplicated. I want it to be able to work with you, your schedule, your lifestyle. So we're going to work on this one manageable step at a time. And I'm going to dive in with the first shift that we all need to make. So shift number one is probably one of the most important, especially as women, because we love to control, we love to plan, we love to know the outcomes. And a lot of us have that all or nothing mindset. So, mindset's the first thing I love to focus on top of stress management, because as we wear several different hats, right? We're moms, we're grandmas, we're wives, we are business owners, we're career women, we're employees, we're juggling a lot of full-time hats as if it's the only one we're wearing. So we live very stressed out lives. And a lot of the times we get into when we're healing gut this all or nothing mindset where, okay, I had a good 5 days. It's day number 6. I had a bad day. Well, I also had this one thing that's not part of my meal. So, or part of my meal plan or part of my diet. So, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. I'm going to do whatever I want for the rest of the week. And I'm going to start again on Monday. That all or nothing mindset is there also a reason why you're not going to heal your gut, because you have to give things in time for your body to work as well and change. And they're sometimes going to be very subtle in the beginning. And two, we also try to live that perfect lifestyle, right? We try to lifestyle overhaul and be 100% perfect with it. But then we also, at the same time, we do analysis paralysis, where we need the perfect grocery list. We need the perfect meal plan. We need the perfect workout outfit with the perfect workout exercise plan. And that's not sustainable. We're humans, we're not robots. So I don't want you guys to get into that mindset thinking you need to be absolutely perfect when that isn't what's going to create the change. It's going to be the consistency. Plus, when you are trying to heal your gut and you're in that all or nothing mindset, or you're in that perfectionism trap, you end up stressing your gut out more, which just wreaks more havoc on your gut and ends up kind of having a more of a negative effect. It ends up doing the opposite of what you're trying to do, because we get stuck in what's called a flight or fight mode. And when we're in that mode and our gut is stressed, the first thing that stops is digestion. So and it starts weakening your gut lining. So if we are at all in that mindset and in stressed out and we're in that flight or flight mode, our body can't repair, it can't heal, it can't ultimately do what we want it to do. So my biggest focus is to always make sure that we are doing consistency over perfection. What you do 90% of the time matters so much more than trying to be perfect 100% of the time. So that way, that 10% of the time, you can go enjoy yourself. It's not going to wreck your gut. You can have that piece of cake at your kid's birthday party. You can have that glass of wine at your career's event. You can go to the fair and have funnel cake without it wrecking your gut. Take some stress off of yourself and your gut so that way your gut can actually start healing. Plus, with stress management as well too, I want you to focus on walking. Just a 30-minute walk purposeful walk, not leisurely, but not power walking, just a good walk that helps you bring out of that fight or flight mode naturally. Whether it's indoor, whether it's outdoor, outdoors better for nervous system regulation and bringing you out of that fight or flight mode. But we can also still do indoor and get the same result. Even walking within 20 minutes after a meal is also great for balancing your blood sugar, helping your nervous system, helping with digestion, especially if you are suffering with bloat and constipation. Walking after eating immediately, not immediately, but at least 15, 20 minutes afterwards can make a huge difference for your gut and help it de-stress a little bit so it can start repairing and start making that gut lining strong again. Plus, too, a lot of women do not realize how connected your gut and your brain are because that's why you feel butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous, why you get sick to your stomach when you're upset, um, why we get brain fog, why we get anxiety, why we get depression. Those are all actually being tied to the gut now, and we've been treating them as if they were a mental health issue. And some might be, but some might be coming from your gut as well, too. So I want to talk about one of my clients. As she basically was about to quit the program before it even started. She was a mom, she travels for work, and she's still home every night, but she's traveling throughout the day. So it makes it hard to have a routine. Meal prepping's not really an option. She thought because she was a mom, that she needed to have these perfect recipes, or her husband or her kid weren't going to eat it because it's healthy. Um, she basically, like, she gave up before she even started. Then she went on vacation and found she was eating whatever she wanted. She kind of said screw it, and then she was miserable for the rest of the vacation with bloat, with diarrhea. She kept making her husband pull over and stop at gas stations while they were road tripping, or if they were at the lake they would have to leave because there was no bathroom around. And she kind of went, crap, like I can't keep doing this. Her mindset switched from trying to be perfect on everything to, okay, well, I'm just gonna make one super big meal at dinner at night, and that will be my lunches for the rest of the week. But she didn't make these elaborate meals either. She just made more meat, more veggies, and if her kids didn't like the veggies, she did up some different other kind of veggie they did like or would eat. So she didn't have to make these elaborate meals to get her family to join in on it while she was still taking care of her gut. And then after that, she was back to buying new jeans. Her bloating disappeared. She became regular again. And it was literally just that mindset shift, which leads me into shift number two, which is protein. And there's little success of healing your gut if you're not getting enough protein. Protein, it plays a huge part in our gut and does a lot more than just muscles that we see when it comes to working out or getting healthy. Is our gut lining needs protein too. It needs it to repair, it needs it at a cellular level. We also need protein to be able to create the enzymes needed to digest food too. So if we're not getting enough protein, we're also not being able to heal our guts as well, either to break down the foods. If we're not getting enough protein, we're also looking for quick energy hits. So we can be craving carbs, we can be craving sweets, breads. And same thing if we have a yeast overgrowth as well within our gut, you're going to be craving those on top of it if we're not getting protein. We have our energy crashes in the afternoon because we didn't have the energy to sustain all of our organs and all of our muscles. So then now we're surviving off of caffeine in the afternoon. We're getting sick regularly because our immune system is actually within our gut. So our immune system can't work correctly if we're not getting enough protein. And our joints start aching as well too. Even if you're getting adjusted by your chiropractor regularly, it's probably why you're not getting enough. And if we're getting enough protein, it helps balance our blood sugar, which reduces our cravings and helps us stay fuller longer. Protein is the building block. to our gut. Our gut needs it for so much more than just muscle. It needs it on that cellular level. If we are not getting enough protein either, that's if you guys have ever heard of leaky gut, that's when leaky gut begins because that barrier is now gone, creates an overreactive immune system. And that has been led to MS, RA, and sometimes even some celiac disease cases. But when you're getting enough protein, that cell lining can start repairing fully again, start getting energy again. Your immune system gets stronger. You can start breaking down foods correctly that you do eat. And with that energy, you can start chasing your kids again, your grandkids. You're not coming home from work slumped and exhausted. You can wake up without aches and pains and just start thriving again. A lot of the times, the first things I have seen with my clients when they have started eating protein is more energy, better sleep, and yeah, more energy and better sleep. So this client here, we ordered her labs and we didn't even have her labs back yet. And I put her just based off of her health history, I built her a meal plan and it was very more protein focused. She felt like she was doing everything right, but she was still having issues with energy. She was still having issues with severe bloat. She was working out like crazy, not losing weight. And we didn't even get our lab results back and off her general meal plan that was mostly protein based. She was already dropping fat and retaining muscle at her training programs where they were measuring that. And it was not, she was about a month and a half in within our program. And I want to say it was like the next week we got her lab results in. And then once we got her lab results in and actually tailored her meal plan to her lab results, her results were absolutely amazing. But this biggest for her was just protein. She just started focusing more on protein and a full variety of it. So when you're focusing on protein, you want at least 30 grams at every single meal to be in a muscle building, fat burning state. So even your gut lining can't repair if we're at least getting 30 grams of protein at every single meal. If we are not getting enough protein or at least 30 grams at every meal, then we're in what's called a fat building, muscle burning state. We don't want to be in that. That's when our gut lining weakens anymore, even more. That's when our immunity weakens even more. And to tailor this more to you depends on your health symptoms, your health goals. But I try to say, just very generalized, at least 1 gram of protein for every pound of lean body weight you have. So, but ultimately, I say 100 grams of protein per day to at least get started. And then on top of that, make sure it's a variety of protein. Protein there's several different kinds of protein and nutrients, and you're going to get different nutrients depending on the type of protein you're getting. So if you notice you're having a lot of reactions to sometimes certain types of meat, switch it up, try a different meat, see if you're tolerating that one a little bit better. I've even had one client, we got our test results back. We needed to focus more on plant-based protein. So focus more on protein, but if you notice a little bit more bloating, you notice a little bit more diarrhea, maybe try another protein at the next meal. So if we had beef for breakfast, we had some steak and eggs maybe for breakfast. At lunch, try the chicken. And then at dinner, try turkey. And then shift number 3. And this one is a hill that I will die on because it's such a generalized topic. You see this trend everywhere. You have gut issues, just take a probiotic, or they tell you fiber. If you have gut issues, take a probiotic. It's going to solve all your problems. And that's not true for everyone, especially women. I was one, I didn't need a probiotic. And it explained a lot why my symptoms were getting worse when I did. So if you have been trying to heal your gut and you've been taking a probiotic, but your bloating or your diarrhea worsens, you probably don't need that probiotic. Or if you only get relief for about a week or two, but then your symptoms come back even worse, or just come back in general, probably didn't need that probiotic. Or if your symptoms stayed the same as if you were never taking it, probably don't need it. So with probiotics, There, yes, some people do need them, but marketing is also taking a good job of saying, oh, if you have gut issues, take this probiotic. But there's a lot of not good probiotics out there. There's a lot of them that are mostly greens more than they are probiotic. So if you do take a probiotic, it may also be just a low quality one. So if you want to take a probiotic to try to heal your gut, make sure it has a high CFU count of at least 50 billion and make sure it is diverse. You want it to contain species of lactobacilli, bifidobacterium, and streptococcus. And it's not the same kind of strep like you get in strep throat. There's multiple species, but those are the three main ones you want to be see on the label in the back. A lot of the times on probiotics that you buy off the shelf, they're full of fillers and they will maybe contain like four subspecies of lactobacilli, and that's it. So if you are going to take a probiotic, make sure it's a good, high quality one. But ultimately, you're going to want to get your probiotics from whole foods. So yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, fermented pickles. But a lot of the times on lab results that I get back from my clients, I don't, a lot of them never needed the probiotic to begin with. I think in this year alone, I have maybe told two to start taking probiotics. The rest of them did not need it because ultimately what's missing from our diet is prebiotics. Is the food that fuels the good gut bacteria, which is our probiotics. So think garlic, onions, asparagus, bananas that are still green. Those are all great prebiotics. And those actually are food fuel for our probiotics, the good gut bacteria within our gut. That ends up being mostly what women are missing more than it is the probiotic. But also make sure you start slow too. Especially if you have been feeling the bloat and diarrhea when you start eating more prebiotics or probiotics. Sometimes we also just need to start slow because if we already have a good inflamed gut, we can inflame it a little bit more because we gave it more than it was ready to handle. But ultimately, comprehensive labs is the best way to know if you even need the probiotic. So I had a client who was struggling with constipation horribly. She was going at least a week without a bowel movement and she would be in physical pain. And we got her lab results back and she was taking a probiotic and it was a good quality one, but it turned out she didn't need to take it. And I told her to quit it. And as soon as we did that, that severe bloating stopped. She became regular again. That abdominal pain she was experiencing from being so constipated, then adding bloat on top of it, disappeared. And it was only within like 2 months. Within 2 months, her results completely changed. So if you're currently on a probiotic, kind of watch your body, see how it's reacting with it, or if anything, maybe it's time to start taking some prebiotics. And like I said, asparagus, green onions, green bananas, those are onions. I already said garlic. Those are going to be your great prebiotics. So let me know which one in the chat, which one of these shifts feels like it's most important for you to make. A lot of the times for some women, it's going to be the mindset because you go, crap, I have been trying to lifestyle overhaul, or oh crap, I have been trying to be 100% perfect or in this all or nothing mindset. Or maybe it's the protein. Maybe you've been so focused on eliminating foods and quitting foods that you think it needs to be protein. And unfortunately, I can't see the chat right now. It's not letting me open it. Okay. I'll check it out afterwards. But what would implementing that shift do for your life? Like, I want to picture it. Like, where do you want to see? Like, what are you doing when you feel better? Are you chasing your kids again? Are you coming home from work without being so horribly exhausted that you can't do anything around the house or can't play with your kids or go on date night with your husband? Or is it so you can finally drink a cup of coffee and go to work without being worried or go to a restaurant without looking where the nearest bathroom is or ordering from the menu with confidence? And what can it do for the lives around you as well, too? How is this affecting your husband? How is this affecting your kids or grandkids? And if it's okay with you, ladies, I want to show you how I can make this a reality for you as well. So this is why I started my Feeling Gutsy Gut Health program. It's a one-on-one personalized program that is aimed to support women to the root cause of their issues. I want to give you the confidence again to start eating as you should for you and your body to get the results you want to with the simple support that you have probably been missing. So how think about this. The ROI that you can have on your body physically, being active again. I have a client who's back to playing pickleball for the first time in 3 years because she has the energy to do so, or she's not bloated or miserably in pain from constipation. The patient, could you be happier, more positive, more headstrong? That confidence is back because we're no longer worried about things, whether it's ordering food, how much pain we're going to be in, is there a bathroom near us? Just emotionally, no longer have feeling frustrated and hopeless. Are we full of gratitude and blessed because we're back to living the life we wanted to without feeling like our gut was controlling it anymore? The confidence in you have that you now have the tools to be able to do the to be able to a year from now be able to handle the hard times in life and know it's not going to wreck your gut in the process. I have a client that finished with me over a year ago, and she has so much confidence from everything that she learned in her one-on-one program that even though she finished almost a year ago, she's still getting amazing results. She had lost 12 pounds. Her annual physical came back clear for the first time in years. She went through hell for like 2 weeks where she completely fell off of her routine and her typical lifestyle. And it didn't wreck her gut in the process because she was able to take care of her gut through it, despite how stressful it was, despite how she wasn't able to eat healthy every single day. She was able to handle it. And she was back to eating desserts at restaurants again, at special events, at Christmases without worry. She wasn't gonna be like, great, I'm gonna pay for this later. She had the tools. And for the people around you too. I've had spouses end up joining in or start seeing such great results in their wives that they start finding recipes for them to cook together. I had one husband, he even started finding baking recipes that matched with his wife's meal plan because she loved to bake and she thought she couldn't bake anymore. It was only finding a couple recipes here or there. And he ended up finding some for her. And now they're actually writing a cookbook together. So the spouses also end up too loving seeing you succeed and feeling better and becoming you again. Plus, just the ROI in your life, having control again without feeling like your gut controls you. And this program is for the woman who wants that again. Everything you're picturing, everywhere you want to be 6 months from now, 7 months from now, 1 year from now, whatever timeline you are picturing, you can have again if you want to try to put in the work for it and try to allow your gut to heal. This is for the women who are ready to stop chasing their symptoms and actually address what is causing her gut specifically to be so unhappy. And I want to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. So it's bi-weekly, sometimes monthly, depending on the person, coaching sessions. And this is where it is all about you for a full hour. What is working? What is not working? What is giving you results? How can we implement this into your lifestyle, your routine without overwhelming you, without making it feel like a chore, without making it feel like more work? I'm going to lead you from start to finish. And if you want accountability between sessions, so there's weekly check-ins. It's just a quick form to fill out. This tells us maybe where you're struggling, but we can't figure it out. That's where we're going to find out is through this form. It helps you keep track and make sure we're covering our bases of everything we're implementing into your life and lifestyle. Support between sessions as well too. You can message me at any time when those questions pop up because it's going to happen. We're going to have those days be like, I don't know if this is healthy or not. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know how to get through this. That's what I'm here for is that support between sessions because those questions are going to pop up. And I want to eliminate the guesswork. And that's through comprehensive functional labs. I run three main labs depending on your symptoms and your health goals. One of them is a stool analysis. I want to start learning what is within your gut at a cellular level because no woman's gut is the same. So, what should we be eating for you? What should you not be eating for you? And how's your metabolism? Do we have some areas in our metabolism we need to fix first? Does our pancreas need support? Does our liver need support? Because those all play a part in our digestion as well, too. I love running these tests because I had one client who felt like she was doing everything right. She was hitting her protein intake, felt like she was doing everything, eating healthy, eating all the salads, all the veggies, but still miserable with diarrhea, couldn't lose weight, still bloated. We ran all these tests and it turned out it was lettuce and blueberries that were inflaming her gut more. We cut out those two foods, plus focused on other foods we saw in her test. She, within 8 months, she lost 41 pounds and no longer has issues with diarrhea anymore. And it was lettuce. So this whole time she was eating salads and thinking she was doing everything right and being healthy, but it just was not healthy for her. I was going over lab results today with a client, and hers was on the opposite of the spectrum, and she was eating too much of some foods that were like, I'm actually like, okay, you actually have too much of this bacteria, which is rare. And so we actually need to cut these foods out and focus on these other foods instead. And it's going to be more nuts and more seeds. So a lot of that stuff we're not going to know until we do this testing. And if you want to learn on your own time, or if you're somebody that just needs to dive in and needs to learn more and needs to understand it, I have a full education suite as well too, with online courses, every resource you can think of, anything that we talk about in your one-on-ones and go over as new foundational step that we're going to add into your lifestyle to take care of your gut on every front. I don't want you to worry about taking notes in your one-on-one sessions. I already have it there in that suite for you because I want you to be focused in on you and what you need right then and there, that I don't want you to have to worry about writing down every single word. So it's all right there for you to access at any time, no matter what stage you're in or what habit or foundation that we're adding in for you and your lifestyle in your gut. And only my gutsy clients get this stuff. And I also have created a community in Slack with current clients, with past clients, because if you have a question, somebody else like you has either already experienced it or has the same question and is too scared to ask. So I wanted to be able to create that community for you ladies as well too. But it is a private group. So only gutsy clients are within this group, whether they're before or during. And this is a great place to ask questions, and especially in between sessions. And you could keep guessing. You can try and implement the things we started today, which are great. And I want that for you ladies, and you will have great results with it. But what about in 2 months from now when something pops up and you don't know how to handle it? Or if you're still questioning, is this the right path? Is this what I needed to focus on? Are you, it's information overload now on social media. So you see something contradicting. So now you're guessing every move you make. You're still trying to piece things together because we really don't know what you should or should not be eating for you and how to apply it to your life. And and everything you're trying, is it really free? Is it really cheaper? Or is it kind of costing you more in time and in emotions And sometimes our symptoms are going to get worse from guessing as well, too. If you've already feel like you've wasted so much time and energy and effort, why not jump in and try to get the test done and see where you truly need for you and your body so we can get you feeling better again. So we can get you living where you were picturing yourself 6 months from now, 8 months from now, a year from now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop and share because I want to see what you guys put in the chat. Increase protein. Definitely mindset and protein, which I have been trying to increase. I love that. And if you want to work with me, I'm going to go ahead and just put this in here for you ladies as well, too, is the link for a complimentary consult. And there's no ties to it. Nothing's going to come, like, there's no automatic money from jumping on a complimentary consult with me to see if this is also the right fit for you. If this is everything you have been looking for. If you think these tests are even right for you. I would like no joint pain every day and not be tired of the time. I agree, Steph, 100%. I remember what it was like to wake up every single morning with so much joint pain and just having no energy. I always swore I needed to shove an IV of coffee into my arm just to survive throughout the day. And more protein and figuring out probiotic. All right, I'm gonna jump now. Sorry, I really don't know why it's not letting me see the chat today. So I would love to know if this is right for you, if this is what you see for yourself, if this is the key that you have been missing, is what you should be eating for you and yourself, for your gut. So if the answer is yes, and all you need to do is book that complimentary consult with the link below, with the link with the link that's in the chat. And if not now, when? Because I'm ready to get going. I remember what it was like struggling, guessing, and I do not want that for you ladies anymore. So the cost of the comprehensive testing actually completely depends on which test I believe you need to run. So it completely depends on your exact symptoms, your health history, your health goals, because some of them aren't going to be necessary. So I'm not going to waste time with them. And plus, with the tests too, I make it super easy. So you do it in the comfort of your home. You're not going to a lab and feeling uncomfortable doing any of these. They actually all come to the comfort of your own home. Now my chat wants to work. So I would love to know who's ready to do this. Who is ready to actually get to the root cause of their gut symptoms? Put yes in the chat if it's you. I love it, Steph. And I'm going to put the link one more time. Love it. Any other questions? Throw them in the chat. Any questions on any of the tips that I gave for you ladies as well? How are gut motility? Oh, Steph, I actually love that. Yes. If we're doing the same thing all the time and nothing's working, it's 100% ready for a change. Absolutely. And then how are gut motility issues determined? Actually, in the testing as well, too. There is signs that let us know how things are moving within some of the tests that we do perform. Yes, I love it. So schedule your complimentary consult so we can dive into your gut, what's going to work for you. Because like I said, no woman is the same. So we need to do this for you and your gut. Alrighty. Any more questions? Otherwise, I am going to sign off on you ladies. I know it is getting late, especially for you in New York. I know you guys are an hour ahead, so I do not want to keep you on too late. Any other last second questions? You're welcome, ladies. Have a great evening. I love it. Can't wait to speak to you guys soon in your complimentary consults. Have a great evening.